Gina back again with April 13th's science work. Like always, we are going to start with writing our name on the paper. Gina. And let's go ahead and read our short little passage we have. What problem would you like to solve with an invention? Many inventions happen because someone recognized a need for a better tool to accomplish a job. Other inventions came about because the way of doing things needed to be improved. In centuries past, building things was always a long process. Each item had to be built by hand. Just a second, I'm going to pause and turn up my brightness. Not only did this take time, it also made it difficult or impossible to make exact copies of an object. One person who helped change this was Eli Whitney. In 1801, this American inventor created the idea of interchangeable parts. His invention meant that, for example, a rifle could be built from interchangeable parts. These parts could fit into any rifle of the same design. If one part broke down, a replacement part could be used. This led to increased use of the assembly lines. This way of making products involved having people work in stations along a line. Each person added one part to the product and then moved it along to the next person. A person did the same job over and over again. Each small addition to the product led to the creation of a whole product. While he did not invent the use of assembly lines, an American automobile maker named Henry Ford became famous for using them. In 1913, he used assembly lines to quickly and cheaply manufacture his Model T cars. Another area of invention that has seen many solutions and improvements is flight. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers invented the first lighter-than-air flying machine. Their hot air balloon flew in Paris, France. After that, many other inventors experimented with flight and made contributions. The Wright brothers were the first to successfully fly an airplane capable of sustained, powered, controlled flight. Their first official flight took place on December 17, 1903. They made 4 flights on that day, with the final one staying in the air for 59 seconds. That's pretty crazy to think. I mean, I took a flight once that was 14 hours. 59 seconds is short. Part 1, Directions. Look at the timeline below. The letters represent people and inventions from the passage above. Write in the names of the inventors on the lines below. Okay, so let's see. Up here we have A. Now, A is a little bit past 1775, and it's before 1800. It's not quite at the halfway mark. So we're looking for something like in the 1780s, perhaps? So let's look up here for 1780. In 1783, the Montgolfier brothers invented the hot air balloon. So, write in the names of the inventors on the lines below. We just want the names, we don't need what they invented. So we have the Montgolfier bros. Boop. Up next, we have a square right above 1800. So this is going to be pretty close to 1800. Let's look for 1800s. 1800s, we are skimming. Oh, we have 1801. An American inventor created the idea of interchangeable parts. This American inventor, so we know they're referring to Eli Whitney. So B, we have none other than Mr. Eli Whitney. Okay, let's move on to C. Now C is a little past 1900. Let's go back. Let's look. Oh, here we have December 17th, 1903. What did they do? It was the Wright brothers who were the first to successfully fly an airplane. So we have some more bros in C, but it is what were their name? Wright. The Wright brothers. Now, I know names are hard to spell, but remember, there is no excuse to have them spelled incorrectly because they're spelled for you in the passage. All right, and D. Now, D is about halfway between 1900 and 1925. So we're looking for something about like 1915. Let's take a look. Oh, I see a 1913. Who do we have? Henry Ford. And he made some Model T cars. We just need his name though. Henry Ford. Let me look back at our passage, make sure we've spelled all their names correctly. Henry Ford, Wright brothers. The one I'm most concerned about is Montgolfier. Montgolfier. Yep. Awesome. Part 2 directions. Look at the figure to the right. It is made of 5 parts. A triangle. Here. A circle. A square. And 2 rectangles. Use your own words to explain how an assembly line could be used to make copies of this figure. Okay. Now, first thing we need to remember though, CSRQ. Complete sentences and restate the question. We need to make sure that we are still following the guidelines we had when you were in class with Mrs. Yother. So first, we need to restate our question. An assembly line could be used to make this figure by one person first attaching the rectangles to the square. Then the figure, it's hard to write fast, would be passed to the next person who would attach the circle. Finally, the object would be passed to the last person who would attach the triangle. Excuse my handwriting, it's a little difficult to write small and neat on my screen. Okay, there we go. Make sure you use your complete sentences, restate the question, run out of room, just use the back. Before we end, if you have an idea of a really cool invention, why don't you comment that in our Google Classroom comments for, Mrs. Lovett's class. Personally, if I had to, or if I could invent something, anything, I would love to create the invention that is currently in the game I really like to play, Animal Crossing. It's a magic wand that stores outfits in it, and you just wave the wand and poof, you're changed. I think that would be pretty cool. All right, that's it for science. Goodbye.